Hi, so let's continue and finish up our work on bookmarking. So in the last video, we have completed the toggle buttons of our by customer and by product table. In this video, we will be working on creating this dynamic slicer which we can use here to filter out our data. Now the concepts here are also pretty simple. It's just that you should know what are the right nails you have to hit here in order to make it work correctly. So let me show you right away. So this is basically our same template. All I have done here is I have inserted another object here or another image here which we can use to click on and which we can use to click on here, right? Which we can use to click on and open our slicer pane. So that view where we are having the slicer, what we are doing here is if I click on it, now understand the technicality here. It's pretty simple. All we are doing here is on top of all of these visuals, we have added one specific shape. So this whole thing is basically a shape here, as you can see on top of our report. And this shape here is a rectangle shape, no properties set on the rotation. But this is the important part. On the style, I have made it around 50% transparent so that it gives us a feeling of, so that it gives us that look and feel that the other objects are faded, that the other objects are not selected, and only the slicer pen is being selected. So I've given it a 50% transparency, and the only thing we have to be sure of is in that we have to sure of is that we have to put the other shapes on top of this specific object. Okay, so this shape, as you can see here, is on fifth order here. On top of this is our blue rounded rectangle, which is basically another shape which I have added here, which is a rounded rectangle with 25% corners, and a little bit darker shade of blue. And on top of this, I have added actual slicers of my date and month. So all I have done here is I have taken the basic slicer available here. I have just added year into this, and I have added month into another one. The important thing to understand here is these should be in the same order in order to make it work appropriately. Okay, so once this is done, once you have put up the slicer there, just make sure that your orientation is horizontal, because otherwise if it is vertical, this will just give us the default view of slicer, uh, and that might be a little bit too. So just to make it much more presentable, I've taken the orientation as horizontal in both of these slicers, right? And once that is done, you see there that I have added another object and another image, which is basically to switch it to the, which is basically used to close the slicer pane, right? Now here is the catch. All we have to do here is once this view is created, you have to bookmark this single view. So this view will be giving you the slicer view. So once you click on this is basically our filter on view. So this view will be giving you uh, the slicers in front of you. And one important thing to do here is once this view is created, you can use the same, you can create another view in which is basically your default view. Now here is the important thing. You have created the first view, you have created the second view, but just make sure that the second view which is there, you turn this data off. Now let me show you why. Otherwise what will happen is, let's say I have created this slicer. Okay, let's say I just select January and February, right? Now if this data is turned on, what this basically means here is, what this basically means here is that when I click on this, which is my filter of bookmark, when I click on this, it should also reset my data to the original view as well, and that is something which we do not really want. So if I turn this on, so what this will do here is, let me show you again. I've just selected 2 months, as you can see here, and now if I try to turn this off, you will see it will again go back to the original state. Thus it will not allow you to keep the same 2 months of data getting filtered out or sliced out in your report. Now in order to make it appropriately work, you just have to make sure that when you use these bookmarks, just turn this data as off. So that what this will do is, let's say if I select all the dates here and just for the month of January, and if my data section and if my data view is off here, what that basically means is that it will apply the filter, drill and sort state also. So what that means here is it will not apply the filter, drill and sort state in that case. So if I turn this off, there you see my data will only show the data for that specific month which we have selected, and that's a very good way to just show you the view which you are requiring. So I've just selected January and I will be seeing the data only for that specific month. So that's a pretty good way for you to so that's a pretty good way for you to use these bookmarks and use them in the right way. So similarly, I have set up the same way on the page 2 as well. Just making sure, that the all the slicers and the objects are in the same standard and same structure. They should be properly one after the other, so that they all are equally aligned up and we can use them appropriately. So so that's how you set up this kind of so that's how you set up this unique and really amazing slicer pen. And this is pretty important, and this is pretty intuitive. When you want to save a lot of space on your report, and if you don't have that much amount of space in your report, it gives you a very good way to save that space for all the other visuals or make your report much more look cleaner. Right now, finalizing it. So that's all for this video, and we'll meet in the next one. Thank you.